it's like
Set up like.
surviving on its own. You have like, yeah, they were talking like they were. It looked big this year, like, yeah.
Evening, I'd like to call this meeting of the Madison Public Schools Board of Education open. Call to order, please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, usually we move into other items first, but we have an action item that's on the early part of the agenda because we have to share some of our shared staff with the Board of Selectmen, who are also meeting now. So I'm gonna need a motion to award the Polson Life Skills and Lounge Area renovation contract to Gilbane Construction Company. The BOE portion of the project totaling $68,416.50 will be funded by the Connecticut DRIP grant. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
I can take Lisa on that. Thank you both. And so now we can have discussion, and I know we have Ben here. Ben, you can go ahead and make your presentation.
So after about 150 public meetings in my career, I've never gone right after the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm just like soaking that all in. Thank you for accommodating the schedule. So quick history on this project. So I was talking to Principal Hart late last year, and we're just walking through all the improvements and everything we're doing at Polson this summer. And she mentioned something to me. She said, "Hey, when's the Life Skills and Teachers Lounge getting done?" I'm like, "What? No idea what you're talking about." Did some research, and apparently in 2024 when we did the restroom and doors project, those were two projects that were kind of operationally combined. It was ongoing when I started in the district in July of 24. Originally that room was supposed to be part of that project scope and was actually removed kind of in the 11th hour when it went out to bid, or right before it went out to bid, due to budgetary concerns. So actually found a set of plans from I think it was April of 24, went out to bid in March. The work in that space was actually in there. Then the set of plans that went out to bid, they weren't there anymore. So that's kind of the documentation I'm working off of. Obviously the staff turnover, folks weren't here at that time, but that is it seems to make sense. I don't know why anybody else would make that up. So just kind of dove into the project and looked at how it was designed. I could see why it was pulled from the project. It probably would have cost close to 300,000, maybe a little bit more to do what it was scoped, or the way it was designed. There were some what I thought unnecessary elements in it. They're trying to shoehorn a drop ceiling in there, which would require a bunch of ductwork alteration and a lot of other stuff. So kind of started from square one, but still with the flavor of the renovation of the space. Most of it is millwork, which is right now it's got 1950s cabinetry in there, some appliances that probably date around the 80s. Space is just tired. It's got asbestos floor in it. So we started thinking, well, this summer would be a perfect time to knock this out because we have the building fully shut down. As you know, you can't do any abatement until the building's shut down. There's also no way to really phase that because you have to do the abatement and knock the cabinets out all at the same time. It is a teaching area in the front. It's a combined space. The teacher's lounge is in the back. So we really can't take that down during the school year. So it would have to wait to summer of 2028 if we don't do it now. Had the idea, said, hey, Gilbane's in here this summer. They've actually got all the trade contractors that we need to do this project already mobilized. Let's work it through their system, basically do it as an add to their contract, but a standalone job on our books because it's funded from different funding sources, and went through that process with them. They had a couple of good other design elements that we added in to try to lower the cost even more. We came out at 179,000, and that's to basically gut and renovate the space, including appliances and everything else. Then it came a matter of how to fund it. We had $110,000 left over in the restroom and doors project from 2024. It's been sitting there in our SIP. That's why this is going to the board. And then I'll say this exact same thing again to the Board of Selectmen afterwards. So the plan is to take that 170, carve out the 110, have the town fund that through that project residual, which is apparently where it was supposed to be in the first place. And then the remainder is 68,000, as you said in your intro, we will fund through this strip grant. So no additional budget funds required for this, but we wanted to bring it to the board tonight. Because it's one contract, but since we're splitting the funding, we figured you should vote on it as well.
All right, well, I wanted to say, first of all, thank you, Ben and Peter. I know that you two work closely together, and Ben, you've come up with very creative ways to find us savings on projects in the past and to help us get to the end of a project that might have been kind of stalled. And we greatly appreciate that creativity.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And just to give the board some confidence, Gilbane is the same company that just completed Neck River Elementary School and did a phenomenal job. So, there should be no question as to the quality of the contractor that Ben is proposing. Any other questions or concerns? No? Okay, so we have the motion. I'll call the motion. The motion again is to award the Polson Life Skills / lounge area renovation contract to Gilbane Construction Company, the Board of Education portion of the project totaling $68,416.50 will be funded by the Connecticut DRIP grant. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, 1, 2, 6. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Now we'll bring it to the
Oh, yeah,
next one.
we'll get to work.
Thank you. All right, okay, so next on the agenda, we go back to the beginning of our ordinary agenda. And we have our school community session with public participation. Is there any public participation from in the room? Anyone online? Okay. Now moving on to the Board of Education Student Representatives reports, Grace and Kate. Kate.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the warmer weather. I know we certainly are. It's really nice to walk out of the school building to 70 and sunny. So, and it's been staying light later, which is really nice driving home. We have quite a hefty agenda today. There's a lot of events going on near the end of the school year. First, we want to recognize a few Daniel Hand sophomores who placed second in the DMV TSA contest out of 160 submissions. They were 3 female sophomores and they received $3,000 for the school and $1,000 for their group. So we just wanted to share a little recognition. I know we talk about junior, senior things a lot because we're upperclassmen, but it's pretty cool what they did. They were bringing awareness to driving safety and road safety. So congratulations to them. We have a lot of senior events coming up. This is kind of the wrap up time of the year. First, we have our senior sunrise on June 5th. This is not necessarily a school sanctioned event, but we're encouraging all seniors to attend. It will be before school at West Wharf, I believe, and it's just an opportunity to get together in the morning with one of our final days as a class together. And then during the day, we have our senior trip again on June 5th, and we'll be going to the Madison Movie Theater. And we have 2 options. Snacks are provided. That was planned by the class officers. And then the next day is our senior prom. So I keep talking about prom. I'm sure you've heard enough of it, but we're very excited. That will be at Anthony's. I've heard the food is phenomenal. So definitely looking forward to that. And then senior awards are on June 15th. Letters were sent out today or received today by the seniors. And students are invited to receive their either scholarship or award. And we just want to thank the community for funding the scholarships. There are around 40 that have been provided through different individuals through the community and awards. So we're really grateful for that and helping cover our tuition next year. And then graduation is on June 17th. Which is the big event of the year. We're really excited. The speeches sound great. And then that night is going to be Night at Hand. That's the evening of the 17th after graduation. And again, we want to thank the volunteers for the ample amount of effort that's been put in. I didn't know that they've been planning this since July of last year, so getting all the fundraisers and the food and the different activities seems like a huge ordeal. So on behalf of the class, we're really excited for that. And there was another signing day for the senior athletes. There were around 30 athletes that will be pursuing a collegiate career in their athletics, and Mr. Farrell just does a phenomenal job making sure those students are recognized for all their efforts and commitment to their individual sports. Speaking of which, SECs are currently taking place. The girls lacrosse are in the quarterfinals and they're playing right now against Brantford. So wishing them the best of luck. Baseball played earlier and track just ended and hand placed very well. I don't know exactly the rankings. I know one of my friends got 4th place, so that's good for the relay. And an art show was a few weeks ago. They posted up the artwork in the bridge, and I went with my AP Lit class, and that was really cool to see all the different, very unique artwork. Some were about childhood, some were about clowns. So it was a major array of different pieces, but really cool to see the unique talents of the students. And on that note of AP Literature, we have our symposium on Thursday. So students have been working for a few months with a specific book of their choosing, and they've been tasked to connect it to the real world. So whether that's a connection to social media or some sort of TV show, and they will be giving 15-minute presentations. And yeah, the whole school's invited to attend. So that's always a really fun event. I've been looking forward to presenting since freshman year. So I'm really excited for that on Thursday. And last Friday, we had our final class officer meeting with Mr. Salutary. Kate will speak about re-elections, but it sounded like overall there was really positive feedback for how class officers went this past year. I think students really appreciate having their voice being shared and getting to hear the unique perspectives of all 4 classes that meet once a month. And then lastly, voter registration took place Monday, May 18th on the bridge, giving students 18 or turning 18 this year the opportunity to register and get more engaged with their civic duties. So that was pretty cool. I know a lot of my friends signed up and it seemed to be pretty well attended and helping us prepare for adult life. So yeah, that's all I have.
Yes, I know that was a lot, but just a few more events. The National Honor Society induction will be taking place this Thursday at 6 p.m. in the Daniel Hand Cafetorium. So it's just a super unique opportunity to welcome and support the new members of the National Honor Society. And as Grace said, we had class officer re-elections last week. So voting took place during advisory on Thursday. Each class got to vote out of a selection of, I think it ranged from some classes had 28 people running, some people had closer to 10. So it's very different, but everyone voted for 8 class officers. And then over the loudspeaker during 6th period, those class officers got announced. So everyone now knows which class has their class officers for the new year next year. We also, for the Interact Club, they hosted their Day of Giving on May 22nd of this year, and they just did a variety of super rewarding events. I know that ranged from going to hang out with the senior center and also just participating in a variety of activities with them, to also doing the Rise Against Hunger meal packing. And I actually got to speak with a few members of the club after they participated in this day, and they all just had the best things to say about it. They said it was a super beneficial and rewarding experience for them. So that was awesome to hear. And then the chorus concert is taking place tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. again in the Daniel Hand Cafetorium. So if anyone wants to attend, I know that should be a fun event. And we always want to support them as well. So then we also have our last wellness next Wednesday, which is crazy to think about because the year is coming to a close and like graduation is coming up pretty soon, which is crazy. And then we also have a super unique and awesome opportunity with the Save Promise Club. They're forming a team with Madison and in collaboration with the Song Strong organization to participate in the 5K that Ethan's parents started in his honor, and have worked on many aspects of gun violence prevention and safe storage as well. And then finally, the class of 2029 is hosting a pickleball tournament in the morning of May 30th, I believe, and they're looking for any participants, any skill level whatsoever, if you guys want to join. So that's a very fun fundraiser for trying to get to raise some money for their class if anyone is interested. Yeah.
And tomorrow, before school, a lot of sophomores and some seniors are going to set up for the World Language Honor Society induction. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what that entails yet or who's being inducted because applications weren't set out, but that will take place tomorrow and I'll update you with what that looks like because it'll be a surprise for me as well.
Any questions? No. Thank you both very much.
Are you both able to make the next meeting, your last meeting of the night?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we'll see then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I won't wish you luck. Yeah.
Okay, next on the agenda is the superintendent's report, Dr. Cook.
Yeah, always great when we have a chance to recognize one of our amazing students. So tonight I'm honored to recognize Christian Capizzi, who is an 8th grader at Polson. Christian joined by his mother Christine and dad Kevin tonight. So when Christian was in 6th grade with the support of Frank Henderson, his 5th grade principal, he started our district's participation in Hats for Hope. Each September, in recognition of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, Christian has led this charge. Catherine Hart has supported from day one as well, and this event has grown tremendously over the last 3 years. All schools in central office have participated in our results of the district have grown each year. It's really one of the things we look for each fall. Christian's received some special recognition recently. I'm going to let him share that with you, but I think Mr. Anderson would say, give you a word or two.
Well, we met when I was at Brown and he came in and it was folks, just a tremendous student we went through, persevered through some things and just committed to the whole process. And I know Mr. Pacino's very proud. That's his guy. I told him today I was going to come to the board meeting tonight. And then when we went out to Polson, we started communicating with the parents and the town fund, and it's been fun to watch the fundraiser grow and grow and grow. So congratulations to you, to your folks, great people.
Thank you. Dr. Cook and members of the Board of Education, thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. For the last 3 years, I've organized the Hats for Hope event in our schools in Madison. This year we had our best year yet, raising over $8,000 for the Tummy Fund for Childhood Cancer, placing us 2nd top school in top fundraising district. And I am proud to be recognized as the top individual fundraiser in the state. Yeah. This is an important cause to me because all the money raised goes directly to children treated for cancer at the Smilo Cancer Hospital, where I was treated for cancer almost 4 years ago. I would like to thank all the principals who have helped me organize this event and spread the word throughout our schools, and especially Mrs. Hart, Mrs. Curran, Mrs. Frost, and Mr. Henderson. Dr. Cook, thank you for encouraging all of our schools in Madison to participate. I am especially grateful for the support of our community here in Madison to participate, who showed us that we can do great things when we work together. I look forward to continuing Hats for Hope next year when I start at Daniel Hand High School. Besides, who wouldn't want a good excuse to wear a hat to school? Thank you.
So, Christian, I just wanted to offer one more hat for Hope, and this is for you from the Board of Education and
Thank you.
the district. Thank you so much, and
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I told Christian he's able to leave. I'm sure the Mets are probably down to run. I don't run and catch your favorite baseball team playing. Feel free. Also on the agenda tonight is our formal acceptance of the Neck River Elementary School as part of the state grant process, and Adam Levitas from Colliers is with us tonight. So Adam has been with this project since day one. It's, you know, it's amazing to think that we sat in this room just looking at plans, you know, just a few years ago. So it's great to have you here at this point of the process.
And Adam's with our local Madison Colliers project management, right?
Yes.
Project managers.
Yes, thank you. So it's been, as I mentioned, it's been a while coming. Thank you for having me here at Levitas Colliers project leaders. Hopefully getting the screen share to work here, just a brief slide deck. In addition to just the formal acceptance, Dr. Greg asked me to just give a quick update on some of the end project financials that have been floating around. Let's talk. Going through the board of selectmen, and so we want to also just make that report out to you all as well.
Give me 2 seconds,
You go on first. You said.
Adam, we'll just go with the monitor here.
Yeah, perfect. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right.
Just tell me when to.
Yeah, thank you. So, as you all might recall, there has been some, or something might be new, but you might have heard, the project budget fluctuated in the middle of construction as we were dealing with the realities of a ever-changing construction market, sort of post-COVID escalation, inflation, all those hot button terms that we went through as we were going through the design iterations. But ultimately, the total project budget settled where it originally was at 61.15 million. So there was some Polson money that was transferred and then transferred it back, but ultimately the net budget was the same as when the project was initially accepted. The projected final total new building costs, so the amount of money paid out to all the vendors, contractors, etc., is trending at right about 58.6.7 million. We're still closing out some vendors, as I'll get to in a little bit. You know, what we're talking about here today is not acceptance of project finances and contracts. Colliers of the town of Madison are still working through all those items to ensure that items are paid out when they're complete. And some of the tasks associated with the new construction of the building drag on is, you know, often how it feels, but they extend out for sometimes, you know, a year and a half, 2 years after the building is complete to ensure it's operating correctly, all the cleanup items are done, that kind of thing. So as these numbers have been going along, they get increasingly tight as we focus on what's left in the contract versus unused monies, versus invoices to pay, etc. But for all intents and purposes, that's where the project is trending, which is actually lower than where we thought we might end up at September of 2025.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, right, correct. Project number is lower right here. I always got my back, right? These numbers contemplate contract values. They exclude the cost for demolition of Ryerson or the addition of solar to the roof, or any other projects that might be incepted in the future. We'll talk about Ryerson and solar here in the next bullet point, which is if you were to do some quick math, that leaves approximately $2.4 million just in terms of what did not get spent from the $61 million original budget. Based on the school building committee's motion and approval at the last meeting, that 2.4 million or whatever the remainder is thereof will be transferred over to the Ryerson demolition fund to use for that effort. And as I understand it, that's what the school building committee and the board of selectmen have worked out after additional studies of that building, etc. So can't speak to that. That's sort of outside the scope of the project now, but that is what has been voted on and approved for the remaining money within the $61 million budget. Within the actual expenses, there's obviously the amount that the state will reimburse to the town as part of the state grant process. The original anticipated reimbursement at referendum was around $9.8 million. We're currently anticipating $13.8 to $14.0 million in reimbursement. There's some big additional reimbursements, percentages gained along the way, based on some of the project studies, colliers of the town, and some of the state legislators working together to maximize what the town gets within the rules of the grant process. So all good news there. And again, the sort of ambiguity around the number depends on all of the long-tailed closeout items. The state makes determinations of eligibility on some of the changes that occurred during construction. So all that needs to get ferreted out and finalized, and final audit of the project doesn't occur for years thereafter. So long after school building committee meetings are complete, the state, goes through its cycle of auditing of existing projects and finally gets around to the next one in the pile. And when that happens is when the final assessments made and any monies that the state holds back finally that get released to the town. But again, for all intents and purposes, projecting about $14 million of the 58.6 will be reimbursed to the town, or will have already been reimbursed to the town. Next slide. So everything on this slide is in addition to that 61.1 million. The tax consultant retained through the town, CLA. Last I just spoke with them a couple weeks ago. They have everything that they need, and they, within the next couple of days was the target. We'll be submitting the federal tax credit for the geothermal well system and the other mechanical components to the IRS as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. That credit back to the town is anticipated at $2 million. If you were to kind of spink ahead like, oh, we'll get 2 million on top, there is some additional math because the state with this project doesn't let you double dip. But in terms of what the finance department will receive at some point, the anticipated projection is to get a check back from the federal government for 2 million outside of that 61.15. And then on top of that, in a similar fashion, but through a different source from Eversource, there's another $410,000 through the clean energy rebates programs that were available when this project was incepted. 319 of which have already been received. There's the remaining $90,000. That's part of a verification program that we're actively going through now. So that's one of those long-tailed items where get the building, get up and running, and then you got to measure it for a year to make sure it's actually doing what the energy modeling and designers designed the building to do. So that's also coming.
So I'm sorry, Adam, did you say that out of the $61.15 million project budget, not only did we only spend 58.6 million of it, but we're also looking to get back $18.8 million in some form or another?
14 plus the make sure I'm getting this math right. It's 14 from the state of the 58 million. That's as part of the cash flow. So that's not additional money. That's just paying back the bonds. This is how I understand the town is operating there. 2.4 is unspent of the referendum budget. And then outside of all that, there is 2.4 from 2 million from the federal government, and then 400,000.
16.4 back, basically. That's correct, which is also possible.
Yes, yeah. I think that's the math is how that's trending, but I want to double check that before a newspaper.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So again, lots of bullet points here that are effectively just closing out all those items that I had mentioned before, working with Stacey Novitz and her team and town finance, and the individual vendors to get everyone closed out. And like I said in the last bullet point, state reimbursement. So drag on for a few years as you get through all the forms and documents, and the state withholds 5% of the retention of that reimbursement until that audit's.
But so basically, we got that building, the taxpayers got that building for a net value of about $42.2 million.
Trusting your math on that, that seems to be about correct in terms of the district share.
Well, you got 58.6 minus the 16.4. Is
But to be
42.2.
clear, when we originally voted for the project, the 2.4 million for the demolishing of Ryerson was included in that amount. So the fact that you're saying, oh, we're 2.4 million under budget and now we're gonna put it towards Ryerson, I think is a little, no offense, disingenuous. Because when we voted on it, it was pretty well understood that we were gonna demolish Ryerson.
It was understood, but it wasn't part of the budget.
It was part of the budget, I got the numbers, I have it from the original thing, I brought it up like 2 months ago. Anyway,
Still good. Still
Well,
very good.
I wouldn't say that we're under by 2.4, because we originally said we were gonna use the 2.4 to demolish Ryerson. And now the building committee is saying, yes, let's use the 2.4 to demolish Ryerson. So to me, that.
Right, we broke even and we spent $42.2 million on the school
Okay,
when the budget was 61.15.
I think the highlight really goes in that reimbursement number, because regardless of scope, 2.4 here, there, the other, 9.8 was expected to get from back from the state. It's approximately 14 getting back from the state, so
well
there's
done.
4 million to the good at least.
Excellent.
Yeah. Awesome.
So for this evening, the ask for the Board of Education is to make a formal motion to accept the building. As I mentioned, this is not Board of Education agreeing to, let release people from contracts. That's handled entirely separately. This is entirely through the state grant process. It's part of the statute for, the Board of Education effectively accepts the project. The town authorizes the superintendent as the signatory to the grant to go out and pursue a project, in this case for an elementary school, based on some education specifications, et cetera. So this is that sort of the culminating approval on that educational side that, yes, the town did in fact use monies to build the school that was intended by the Board of Education. So this also serves as the start of the clock, if you will, on the 20-year wait period before additional grant money could be used to do something else to the work that was already installed. So, for example, if I understand that there's a solar project being contemplated potentially as part of the SIB, that's new work, that's not touching existing work. You're not, redoing the roof, you're not, redoing the flooring. 20.1 years from the acceptance, you could in theory get more grant money to do additional work to the work that was put in place. So that's why this vote is important. You typically don't want to do it immediately after the building opens, just in case there's some substantive issues, but you definitely don't want to drag out years and years because then you never start your clock. And Tyler's seen some districts where this vote never quite made it past, and then it runs into issues where you have reduced reimbursement as part of the project. So that's what this motion to accept is all about. And I think that's the last slide. Yeah.
Any questions for Adam? I first would like to say, Adam, you've been our owner's manager for the whole project. You've been absolutely amazing. Couldn't be happier. I served as the Board of Ed liaison to the building committee, and the work that this building committee did and the professionalism and some of the skill sets that were brought to the table in our town were phenomenal. And we selected amazing vendors, and it was just overall a dream project. And I'm very proud to have even had some tiny part in it, but good work. Thank you very much. Thank you.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much.
I just to add, as a parent of 2 Neck River students, it's a beautiful space and the families really benefit from its creation, so thanks to all.
So Adam, on behalf of the board, I would like to give you, there's 2 of these because we thought Graham was gonna be here too. But we'd like to give you each with a coffee mug at Neck River Elementary School, branded coffee mug. I'll come down.
Very nice.
Coffee mug and also a t-shirt. Now, I can't vouch for the sizes, whether they'll fit you or you have to give them to your kids or something. But, hey, it's great work. I just thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and we will have our vote later as an action item. accepting. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Adam.
thanks, Adam. Take it easy.
All right, the last item also means that we're getting near the end of the school year because we do this every year. We renew the Chartwell's food service contract. So Aaron Fliss joins us tonight and Chris Nicoletti, who is our new manager from Chartwell's. I know the board wanted to meet him when they had the opportunity. So Chris joins us.
Hi there, everyone. Well,
So you board has received the contract. Maybe you could just, Aaron, highlight, the minor changes that
Yeah,
are.
so
happening in the
this
contract.
is an amendment to the existing contract, so it's not a new contract or anything with Chartwell's. This is something that happens, as far as I can tell, every year. This will be my first year bringing an amendment to you all. But I did go back and look at all of the prior amendments we've done going back to 2020. The increases that you see on this are in the neighborhood of, well, not the neighborhood, 3.85 and 3.9% for the meal equivalency cost and the administrative fee respectively. That's actually a little bit below the 5-year average of like a little bit over 4%. So it's pretty in line with what we've seen historically for these amendments. It's basically just a not necessarily cost of living, but an inflation accommodation to kind of keep up with the cost of goods and services going up. Those are the only real changes that are in this amendment, is just that meal equivalency, so the per meal cost administrative fee that they get, and then a monthly fee for administrative overhead for managing the accounting and books for food service platform. That's open to any questions. I don't know if anyone has anything for Chris. I just wanted to bring him along to introduce him.
no. So, oh, yeah. Sorry, but no, well, no greater than 5,000. In this country.
Do the food services contract go to? Personnel? Yeah. No.
Now, under this contract, remind me, Aaron, if you know.
Yep.
We're protected to a degree against a loss, right?
So-
well,
Yes, we're protected up to $85,000 of loss.
of profit, yeah,
Yes.
the operation of the sales. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's important on top of the being below the standard 4% increase, plus having that buffer are really strong terms.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, sorry, that portion hasn't changed.
Yeah.
As part of this amendment, that's why I didn't bring that up.
There's no changes to like the food offerings that are happening at the schools.
Oh, I mean, so Chris is planning on doing some menu, maybe revisions or reviews, over the summer. But he started with us, it was a little over a month ago now. So he hasn't quite had enough time to kind of sink his teeth into that. A lot of the menus are already established, but, he may be doing some of that work over the summer. You may see certain items change, but largely, the structure is going to be very, very similar to what we've seen.
Portions will stay the same?
Portions will stay the same, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? Thank you very much, and thank you both, welcome.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we'll vote on this a little bit later in the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
That completes my report.
Okay. Next item, board members' comments. Any comments? Comments? Seeing none. Thank you. We'll move on. Next item is audience response to information presented. Our audience disappeared. Is there anyone online? No, okay. Next item is board committee and liaison updates, and we will start with curriculum and student development committee. And Kathy is not here.
We have not met.
Yeah, exactly, we haven't met anyway, so. All right, so let's move on. Facilities Committee, Emily's not able to be here because her daughter has a concert this evening at Olson.
Yes.
So she couldn't be with us, but also the Facilities Committee hasn't met since the last meeting, so there's no report there. Finance Committee, Galen, you guys met tonight.
Yes,
You don't get off
thank
the
you,
hook.
Seth, we don't get off the hook. We did meet tonight, we discussed the current financials. And about 6 weeks ago on April 7th, we were looking at projected available funds versus projected deficits. And the net projected available for the end of the year was back then estimated to be about $37,000. That was due to extra snow, custodial time, special ed. Since then, the administration has been tracking expenses pretty carefully, thanks to the building freeze.
Yes.
And we've had some, I guess, savings at least in human resources, including para openings. We locked in fuel prices, so we didn't spend as much as had been anticipated. The bottom line is that we're now projecting a surplus of $124,000, $629, $124 basically at the end of the year. This will fluctuate a bit, but the situation is improving. So Stacy and Craig walked us through that. Then Dr. Cook discussed the DRIP grant, which part of which is going towards the Folsom Life Center, Life Skills Lounge. And I believe that's about $106,000 recurring.
The drip grant we received was 106,000,
Yeah.
yes, and we're.
What does it stand for?
District Reinvestment Plan, improvement plan, yeah.
And finally, the finance committee voted. Well, I should say before leaving the current financials, so for the next meeting on June 9th, you'll see some line item transfers proposed to the consent agenda. Each of those numbers. You'll also see a recommendation that the board that authorized the finance committee chair, that would be me, to close out the 25-26 fiscal year directly with finance director Novitz. So we called the meeting at 5:08 and adjourned at 5:25.
Any questions? Comments? No, thank you. Personnel Committee, Maureen,
We have not met, we look forward.
thank you. And Policy Committee, Diane, I know you have.
We met tonight. Also, in your packet tonight, we have action items, two action items, two policies up for a second read. 3323 soliciting prices, bids and quotations, and 6142.101 student wellness. You should have the policy notes in your packet, as well as this is a second read for those policies. And policy tonight, we did the last three policies for the year. Forever. And those policies you will actually see as action items, hopefully for the next board meeting, because we decided that two of the three would be, we recommend that we waive the second read so it can get done at the end of this academic year. And those policies are admission to public schools at or before age 5, policy 5040. Policy 5090.9, use of private technological devices by students, which is about, we just passed or voted on at the last meeting regarding the new cell phone policy, and so that reflects the changes that we voted on. And we want to get that through so it can be implemented for the fall. And so it would be actually a policy put in place for the summer for the administration and teachers to know and get used to, et cetera, and then it will be implemented in the fall of 26. And then the last policy is 5030.2 inter-district school attendance areas, which there was much discussion about. And we recommended a change to the policy. It's going to go to Shipman and Goodwin to see if what we recommended is something that is allowed. And then it will come back to the board. So you will see that. Did we say first read or will it be 2 reads? I don't remember what we said.
That one needs to be all
That
three
was-
because.
that was, yeah, 2 reads.
Yeah.
So you'll see it as a first read at the next meeting, and we'll find out then what Shipman and Goodwin said about what we wanted to do. But it will be brought up for a major discussion by the board as a whole, because there was, not complete agreement in what we wanted it to say. So I'll leave you all in suspense until next time. And that is my report.
Thank you. Any questions? None. Thank you very much, Diane. Loan liaison, Galen.
Yeah, thank you, Seth. So I attended the meeting on the 14th via Zoom, and it was an informational meeting about the budget for the Learn group. I'll try to post the document. It's interesting. So they're projected, they have a budget of about $54 million. It's about 1% increase year over year. The expense drivers of what you would expect with personnel benefits, salaries. And just for the record, the Learn Magnet schools include the Friendship School in Waterford, the Regional Multicultural Magnet School in London, Marine Science School in Groton, the Three Rivers College Magnet School in Norwich. And they do good work. So it's really about it.
Any questions? Good. Thank you, Galen. All right, so now we will move into our exciting action item portion of the meeting. Action item 9, excuse me. I need a motion that as of today's date, May 26, 2026, the Madison Board of Education accepts as complete the new Neck River Elementary School located at 180 Mungertown Road, Madison, Connecticut, state project number 076-0067, N as in Nancy. Do I have a motion? Diane, do I have a second? I think that Maureen was over for the last time. All right, so we have the motion, any discussion? Yeah,
Congratulations.
amazing, amazing school, an amazing job, and a great project all around. Right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Action item 10. I need a motion to approve the proposed amendment number 2 dated July 1st, 2026 between the Madison Board of Education and Compass Group USA, Inc. by and through its Chartwells division as presented. I have a motion. Diane, got a second, and this one, I don't know, Jessica. Any discussion? Once again, you know, our contract is pretty favorable. Comparably across districts in the state, so good job to our team for working it out, and thanks to Chartwells for taking care of us. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously, 6-0. Thank you. Action item 11. I need a motion to approve the following policies effective July 1st, 2026. Policy 3323, soliciting prices, bids and quotations. And policy 6142.101, student wellness. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Diane. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from the committee, Maureen. Okay, any discussion? Questions, discussion, going once, going twice, all right, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay, any abstention, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, action item 12. I need a motion to approve the minutes of the May 12th, 2026 Board of Ed special meetings, oral. Make a motion to approve, Jessica, thank you. Do I have a second? Lisa, thank you.
Second.
All right, any requested amendments? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, any abstentions? Okay, so carries 501. Thank you. And. So the next action item is to enter. Executive session to discuss the evaluation of the superintendent. So I need a motion. Maureen,
Second.
seconded by Diane. To enter into executive session at 7:51 PM. And invite superintendent of schools, Dr. Craig Cook, for the evaluation of the superintendent. All in favor, aye. All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries 6-0. We are now in executive session.